Okay, Black Labrador, 7 years old, pulls on the lead, won't come back. How do you change that after 7 years? This was the question I was asked this morning by a guy in Burbage near Hinckley in Leicestershire. He's had this dog, a gorgeous Black Labrador male, 7 years, and he's been pulling on the lead, he's been not coming back, too excitable, boisterous. So I asked the question, what changed? What made you now at 7 years old decide to address these issues? Very simple, he said. My body can't take the pulling anymore. I've got pain in my shoulder, I've got pain in my arm, so it is now getting painful for me to walk my dog. And he was concerned, excuse me, if at 7 years old the dog was beyond help, was he too old to train? And the answer is obviously no. Dogs are never too old to train, they're always happy to relearn. And it was very, very interesting when he said that he'd read the stuff on my website, other websites, and whilst he understood the principles of it and how it worked, he couldn't actually, from that, get the actual application. He couldn't read the information and make the transition in his head into application, which means it was very difficult for him and then equally frustrating for him to try and apply something that he didn't quite understand. Now, as everything in life, once we see something work and have it explained how and why it works, then we understand it far quicker, far deeper, and it stays in our brains as a learned behaviour much quicker because it is learned through repetition. So in an hour this morning with Buster, this Black Labrador, who was immensely excited at the prospect of a walk, we've made some real progress in showing him that when the lead comes out, he doesn't have to be excited because he doesn't achieve anything, he doesn't produce anything. There's no result for that behaviour because the walk just doesn't happen. And when the dog starts to realise the fact that this behaviour is suddenly, after 7 years, not working, and you can then see the problem-solving skills of a dog in front of your own eyes, and more importantly in front of the owner's eyes, that the dog is then learning and figuring out a whole new set of behaviours in front of your very eyes, it's an immensely powerful thing for the owner to see, because then suddenly there is this, hey, I can do this. This makes perfect sense. I can do this. I can see my dog understands it. The dog's changing behaviour. And you get that revelation of, yeah, I can. And the dog, when I left, was just sat by the door, nice and calmly, no attempt to get out or to be overexcited. Yes, of course, there's work still to do, and we're going back in 2 weeks' time to actually get the dog out on a walk and look at why the dog isn't coming back, and so we can then break that down into its component parts and see at which stage of the interaction now needs to be changed to convince the dog the best place to be is with the owner, not away from the owner. And once you get the dog believing the best place to be is with you, the owner, then why would the dog want to be anywhere else? So if he is off for a mooch and you say, come here, the dog already has a built-in reason to do so, because you've conditioned the dog to believe the best place to be for the most attention is with you. Makes perfect sense, doesn't it?